Good evening. Welcome to Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has given his first extensive interview before the first phase of polls later this week. He has attacked the Congress and the DMK of being anti-Sanatan and anti-Hindu. He has said that the Congress declined the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha invite as an insult to the Hindu community in this country. He says the DMK was born out of an anti-Sanatan mindset. He also asked the Congress, there was a time when Indira Gandhi used to be seen publicly wearing a Rudraksh. Why has the Congress forgotten its basic character? Also, on the controversial topic, a topic on which his government is facing a lot of flack, certainly from the Supreme Court, the Electoral Bonds issue. The Prime Minister said this was as transparent a system that ever there was in terms of electoral funding, political party funding. It left a trail, but now it has been discontinued. Also, on another issue where the Modi government is getting flack, and that is the selective use of agencies like IT, CBI, ED, etc., the Prime Minister justified it by saying that only 3% of the cases investigated by the ED involve politicians. The remaining 97% of cases is non-political. It involves business folks who have no direct connections with politics. Do the Prime Minister's defenses on these issues, whether it is bonds, agencies, or the sort of very definitive religious tilt that he has given to the first phase, will these defenses hold up? We'll put those to the test, threadbare, with representatives from the BJP and the opposition through the course of Brass Tacks. But first, big excerpts from what the Prime Minister said.
ऐसा हथियार हाथ में है जो हथियार वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स के लिए मजबूती का एक दांव है, इसको पकड़ के रखा गया और बार बार उसको भटकाया। राम मंदिर बन गया, उनके हाथ से वो मुद्दा ही चला गया। अब वो किसी को डरा नहीं पा रहे हैं, राम मंदिर आ जाएगा, आ गया, कुछ नहीं हुआ, आग नहीं लगी कोई। सारे आपके गुनाह भूल करके घर में आकर के आपको इन्वाइट कर रहे हैं और नए से व्यवहार शुरू करना चाहते हैं। आप उसको भी उस पुराने मिजाज से ठुकरा दें, तब लगता है कि आपके लिए वोट बैंक एक बहुत बड़ी आपकी मजबूरी है। डीएमके के प्रति जबरदस्त गुस्सा पैदा, वो गुस्सा पैदा डाइवर्ट हो रहा है बीजेपी पॉजिटिव। सवाल कांग्रेस को पूछना चाहिए कि तुम्हारी क्या मजबूरी है कि सनातन के खिलाफ इतना जहर उगलने वाले लोगों का तुम क्यों बैठे हो? क्या तुम्हारी राजनीति अधूरी रह जाएगी क्या? तो आपका संविधान बना, उस संविधान में सनातन का गौरव का हिस्सा।
All right, we'll start with that in the first part of the debate tonight on Brass Tacks. I'm joined by Syed Zafar Islam, National Spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. Shama Mohammed is National Spokesperson of the Congress Party. Salem Dharanidharan is Spokesperson of the DMK. Nalin Mehta is Managing Editor with Money Control. And Sanjeev Srivastava, Senior Journalist, also joining us. Dr. Shama Mohammed, let me start with you first. The question that the Prime Minister asked on this whole insult to Sanatan and insult to Ram Bhaks, he said the Congress was given an invitation. The only reason they chose not to come was because their vote bank for them is more important. He also reminded the Congress folks, as well as the viewers who are watching this interview, that there was a time when Mrs. Gandhi would unabashedly wear the Rudraksh and be seen publicly wearing the Rudraksh. Why has the Congress forgotten its basic character? What is your compulsion in allying and aligning with those political forces who are saying openly anti-Sanatan things? That's what the Prime Minister has asked. That's his question.
Okay, now you've come to this Rudraksh thing. I'm very sure that you know very well that Rahul Gandhi ji visits temples. He goes to Vaishno Devi. He visits numerous Shiv temples. He's a Shiv Bhakt. We all know that. So there is no denying the fact. And I've seen multiple times Priyanka Gandhi ji on her hand, on her arm, she has the Rudraksh. Many a times it's there on our. So these stories that, we are not into, we are anti-Sanatan and all are all nonsense and rubbish. Now there was an invitation, and what we disagree to it. One, of course, the RSS is there. Why should we be on a stage where the RSS is there? We don't agree with the RSS on anything. Number two, we said that we will go there when we want to go there. And many of our leaders have visited the Ram Mandir. It is there, it is present for everybody. It's a proud moment for India. So there is nothing wrong in it, going to the Ram Mandir. Nobody is against it. So please don't.
Dr. Shama Mohammed, why then has Rahul Gandhi or Priyanka Gandhi, your top leaders, why have they not gone? It's been 3 months.
Yes, so let me tell you one more thing. Zaka, I'm going to ask you, why don't you go to church every day? It's your
No, I'm not in public life. I'm not in public life.
I'm in public life. I'm in public life.
Yeah.
Religion.
My religion is irrelevant here because I'm not the one who's in public life. You are.
Okay.
Mr. Gandhi is. Mrs. Priyanka Gandhi is.
Okay, so I'm going to pose a question to you. Do you think you should mix religion and politics? I don't agree.
No.
Religion is something very
you can very well ask the BJP that. Why are you mixing religion and politics?
That's what I'm saying.
That has nothing to do with whether I go to church or not. By the way, I haven't gone to church.
So that is what I'm
what's
asking.
The big deal?
Why do you ask a question whether they have gone there? They will go when they will get the time. They will go.
No, because
there.
the previous answer you said no, that they will go. We have nothing against the Ram Mandir. It's a national pride.
I said
so why haven't they gone up until now? Fair enough. January 22nd, you had a political problem going, but it's been 3 months after that. Why haven't they still gone?
No, if you're going on to interrupt, then I will just stop.
No, it's not an interruption. I'm asking you. It's a counter question.
You're not allowing me to talk. That's the problem, Zaka.
Okay.
You have to let me talk.
Yes, please.
They will go. It is a holy place. They will go when they will want to go. That is what is religion about, isn't it? I go to a mosque when I want to go. You go to a church when you want to go. Zafar goes to a mosque when he wants to go. They will go to the temple when they want to go. That's what we say. Each to their own.
So Zafar Islam, don't mix religion and politics. Is this the issue of the 2024 election, Zafar Islam? Frankly, I mean, why is the Prime Minister not talking about unemployment? Why is he not talking about price rise? Why is he not talking about 2 crore jobs, doubling farmer incomes? Those are the issues that he had promised before coming to power in 2014. That's what he should be talking about, not who came for Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha, who didn't come, and so on and so forth.
Well, there are two things which is important for all of us to understand. Of course, Congress spokesperson had nothing to respond to your question. That's why she was trying to digress from the main issue and putting everything on you or me or on herself, but somehow giving flexibility to her leaders. Away from that, let me tell you a few things. It was a momentous occasion for everyone who had faith in Hindus. I think it was important for anybody and everybody to, when he is invited, because very select people have been invited there, because everybody, the entire nation cannot go there. It was very unfortunate that they turned down those invitations and chose not to go there. When we go to mosque, she was talking about that whether somebody from RSS or BJP, how can we share the platform? When we go to mosque, or you go to church, or she goes to mosque, or for somebody goes to temple, do I really care who is from which party who has come to? Because it's a holy place.
This is an official event. This is an official event.
One second, Dr. Shama Mohammed, please. Let him finish.
Shama, please.
No, this is an official event.
Let him finish. I'll come back to you. Let him finish, please. On your time. Now it's his time. Let him answer.
She has a bad habit. She will speak endlessly and then she will not allow others to speak. I don't want to have this kind of debate, Shama. Please understand that everyone has been given opportunity to speak. Please speak when your turn comes up. So what I was trying to tell you that it was a momentous occasion and everybody should turn up, whoever have been invited, because it was something which anybody would want to attend, except those who discard this religion. And that is what they demonstrated. They have the true faith in the religion was not there, and that's why they chose not to attend and instead giving this kind of excuse, which nobody will buy those kind of excuse. And that's why people of India have to ask this question to Shama Mohammed and likes of all the Congress people, that why the leader chose not to attend. And
no, but
somehow
an incumbent government has to run on its record. What has it done in office? is the biggest thing that the Modi government has done
second
the
question.
Ram Mandir inauguration.
Listen, since you spoken about the Sanatan issue, I have responded.
Sure.
As far as the achievement of Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, what we have not done. In every space, you see what our achievement is. It's from 2004 to 2014, when we left, the Vajpayee government left the economy at that time it was an 11th position. When in 10 years, in 2014 it was again at in the 11th position. So what was their achievement? Nothing. Except the inflation of double-digit inflation. Is this achievement? Now compared to 2014 to now, in 10 years, our economy from 11th position to now 5th position, and now we're heading towards 3rd position.
Okay.
This is called achievement. Not from 11th to 11th you remain for 10 years and you say that achieved.
Okay.
The inflation in double digit during that period. Now let me speak. If you have asked question, I'll give you enough number of response. Now the double digit inflation during that time, was it an achievement? Now that the inflation is under control, 4 points within the range which has been described by MSC. Now third thing, in terms of just see the bank, the NPA level, from where it came. From 1947 till 2006, the balance sheet size of all the public sector bank put together was 18 lakh crore.
Okay.
In merely 6 years, from 2006 to 2012, it ballooned to 52 lakh crores. What happened? They were giving loan just because there was a call from 10 Janpat or from the
Okay, you've made 3 points about your economic
without doing any
achievements.
due diligence.
Now,
No,
one second. Zafar, come on. Now be a sport. Now be a sport. 9 minutes have spent on the 2 spokespersons. I need to go to 3 other guests who are waiting. No, wait. You've made 3 points. Fair enough. Let me ask Salem Dharanidharan. No, Salem Dharanidharan. No, I asked you a question, you answered no. Now calm, relax. Why are you getting agitated? This is not your nature. No, this is not your nature. No, I'm moving on to the next guest. I'm moving to the next guest, please. Salem Dharanidharan of the DMK. The Prime Minister says DMK is making anti-Sanatan comments because your party was born out of an anti-Sanatan mindset. He's also said that there is intense anger against the DMK for these comments, and he says the results in Tamil Nadu will show that anger, and he says the BJP in Tamil Nadu will be the beneficiary of the anger that the people are feeling because of these insulting comments.
See, the biggest threat to Hinduism comes from the BJP party itself, because BJP does not believe in the pure version of Hinduism, which means embracing pluralism, right? DMK is a party that's born out of equality and equity. We want equitable growth and we want equity for all. We think everyone is equal. That is the motto of DMK, social justice. What is Dravidian model? Dravidian model is an inclusive growth in which no one is left behind. If you go to the recent survey conducted, 82% of the population in this country think that India is a pluralistic land. Every religion should be respected. So that way hatred is towards the BJP because they believe in one language, one religion and one culture. Right? I will also revert the Prime Minister and say, can Prime Minister compare one metric with Tamil Nadu, the state he ruled, Gujarat, and say that Gujarat has done better than Tamil Nadu? Let's talk about graduate enrollment ratio, number of women folks in college, infant mortality rate, poverty elevation, any metric. Let him choose. Can he compare and say that BJP government has in Gujarat, where he was chief minister for 12 years, has done better than Tamil Nadu? None.
No, but Dharani, the point is about the comments that your leader made. Yes, you may believe in equality, plurality, social justice, etc. But why are you insulting crores and crores of followers of Sanatan Dharma by saying that Sanatan Dharma is like cholera, dengue, malaria, etc. and it should be eradicated? Isn't that an insult?
See, I think we have been having this debate for the last 8 months, and I think time and again DMK spokesperson, including myself, we have clarified. We embrace every religion, but we want equality within every religion, which is why DMK government under MK Stalin is the only state government to make sure that people of all castes could become priests. Right? DMK government has done more for temples than any other government. In fact, we have reclaimed 4,000 crores worth of temple land in Tamil Nadu after Mandir came to power. On the contrary, in Gujarat, VHP went to the court saying Gujarat government has given land to real estate developers. We don't use religion to get garner votes. We respect everyone to follow religion.
Okay.
BJP, on the other hand, uses spirituality to gain votes.
So
That's all.
now let me come to the second part. Let me come to the second part,
Spirituality
and
into
I want
politics.
to bring in Nalin Mehta as well as Sanjeev
No,
Srivastava
one
into
more
this.
point.
One second, Salem, please, one second. The other two have also been waiting very patiently. Let me ask Nalin Mehta on the two issues which the Modi government is getting flack for. Number one on poll bonds, and number two on use of agencies. On poll bonds, the Prime Minister says this was a transparent system, a system which left a trail, and the fact that now that system has been dismantled or it's been cancelled by the Supreme Court, now you have no way of knowing who is giving what amount of money to which political party. Does that defense hold up? Nalin.
So I think, look, the answer to that depends on which side of the political fence you are on. But fundamentally, I think the argument that the Prime Minister, the BJP has made in the past also is that if you look at the money that was taken in the electoral bonds and then which was monetized, it kind of the graph in that would always spike up just before the elections, and the proportion of the money that was monetized was pretty much in proportion with the number of MPs for the BJP vis-a-vis the opposition and the opposition states. Now, is electoral bonds an electoral issue? I'm not sure it's an electoral issue in this election at all. There is a political debate around it. The Supreme Court has given its ruling, it's being implemented, but I don't think it's an election. It's a major election issue which is galvanizing masses in opposition to the BJP.
No, but why do you say that? Because are you saying the opposition has not been able to convince people that electoral bonds equals corruption, or is it that people of India are not able to figure this out, or are not able to understand where the corruption is in electoral bonds? As far as they are concerned, this is a system. It used to be there. Some people say it was transparent. Some people say it wasn't. But they're still not able to make the connection of corruption. Is that why it's not an issue according to you?
So electoral bonds, well, I think there are two or three answers to that, two or three reasons for this. The first is that electoral bonds was done through an entirely legal process. It was passed through an act of parliament, and thereafter, and while there were different views on the anonymity of it or lack thereof, it was completely within the bounds of the law. Is there a quid pro quo for certain donations? There are allegations around that, but it's never been proved in any way. On corruption, the Prime Minister himself has made corruption a major plank in this election. And on the same token, while opposition parties have accused the BJP of letting out the ED and other agencies or opposition parties, the Prime Minister has made it actually the leitmotif of his campaign, saying that I'm out to gather corruption. I think they're taking I think the Prime Minister is essentially, his gambit is that because he believes that people don't see him as corrupt in any way, therefore he has the political capital to make this an election issue.
Okay, so let me play out that part of that interview that the Prime Minister gave on this use of agencies, because the opposition keeps saying that agencies are used selectively, disproportionately against opposition, and if you join the BJP, it's like a washing machine, your sins are forgotten. Let me play out that bite, and then I'll ask Sanjeev Srivastava my follow-up question.
ईडी वगैरह का आप देखेंगे भैया, इलेक्शन कमीशन अपने एक कहावत है, नाच न जाने आंगन टेढ़ा, और इसलिए कभी ईवीएम का बहाना निकालेंगे, कभी मूलतः पराजय के लिए वो कुछ रीजनिंग अभी से सेट करने में लगे हैं ताकि पराजय उनके खाते में न चढ़ जाए।
वो कह रहे हैं लड़े कैसे आप, या तो ऑपोजिशन लीडर्स को जेल में डाल रहे हैं, या फिर अगर वो आपकी पार्टी में आ गए तो सारे पाप धुल गए। कितने ऑपोजिशन लीडर जेल में हैं? कोई मुझे बताए। और क्या यही ऑपोजिशन लीडर उनके सरकार चलाते थे? या जेल का डर है? डर तो पाप का होता है जी, ईमानदार को क्या डर होता है? मेरे यहां भी तो उन्होंने मेरे होम मिनिस्टर सबको जेल में डाल दिया था।
Okay, let me ask Sanjeev Srivastava, does this defense hold up? He also goes on to say in the latter part, which we'll try and see if we can pull out, is that of all the cases that the ED is investigating, only 3% involve politicians, 97% involve businessmen and industrialists, folks who have no direct connection to politics. Does that defense hold up, Sanjeev Srivastava?
No. See, the problem with such interviews is, like, you are constantly asking counter questions, rebutting, interrupting. Such interviews, the interviewer never does it. So there is a speech kind of a monologue, which is interspersed with some things like questions. So now, if he says 3% of the cases only ED is against politicians, a very natural question which would come to mind is that out of those 3%, 99% are opposition leaders, political. Similarly, so these are the questions. And on electoral bonds, this was a government which was making all out efforts to ensure that the names of people is not. They gave an affidavit saying that no citizen has the right to know who contributed to electoral bonds. So I still think that these interviews are just
No,
speeches
no,
in
but
different.
then explain, Sanjeev, as Nalin said, these issues don't seem to matter to the people. People don't care about electoral bonds. Or even on corruption, he says, because there's no direct allegations against Mr. Modi personally, he's on a higher pedestal than the rest. And the rest of them, as the people see it, oh, ye hamam mein sab nange hain. Therefore, he's got that moral pedestal. He's going after whoever he wants.
Okay. I thought till 2019 election and even till this electoral bonds issue came up, what people used to say, hamam mein sab nange hain, but Modi ji sahi hain. Now one speaks to Modi supporters on the electoral bond issue, and I do concede this point that it is not a huge talking point in elections so far. But whoever is talking about it is now also admitting that there is something wrong with the electoral bond and something wrong with the BJP for doing it. Now,
Okay.
so
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, I'm
halo of
going to.
incorruptibility somehow, I don't think that it is still there. Now the argument is, oh, this is the way politics is done. We all know this is what happens. When Rafale was being raised, everybody I used to speak to say, no chance, Mr. Modi, no whiff of corruption. On electoral bonds, it is not the same kind of reaction that I'm coming across.
So, Zafar Islam, respond to that. One, yes, 3% politicians, 97% non-politicians, but within that 3%, more than 95% of the cases are against opposition politicians. And out of 25 opposition politicians who joined the BJP, cases against 23 of them are put in cold storage.
Let me respond to that first. Sanjeev Bhai has spoken about electoral bonds. See, as far as electoral bond is concerned, it was primarily aimed at bringing transparency. The structure could have been more robust, could have been improved further, but the transparency, what we wanted to achieve, it has been achieved through electoral bonds. Earlier, what was the system? Cash. How much cash you are accepting from whoever you are accepting? Nobody knew. Today, you have the entire details.
Oh God!
The court asked for details. The detail was furnished to court. Secondly, Congress MP. Let's just give you an example. Congress MP Sahu of Jharkhand. He had 550 crore in his home. That ED during the investigation, they found out that the 550 crore cash was with him. I mean, do you want to really continue with that system? And even then, the income tax observation and the High Court's observation, when they gave a judgment in response to the IT appeal which they went to High Court, what is the observation? The 700 crore, more than 700 crore of cash income, they were hiding.
Okay,
so
Dr. Shama Mohammed,
here transparency
the point is,
so we have achieved
it's not like opposition parties did not get contributions through electoral bonds. In fact, from 2014 onwards, the percentage contribution for BJP has been 37-38%. Remaining 60% has gone to the opposition parties, various opposition parties.
So you need to give me some time, because first I have to rebut to what he said. No, he talked about how their government is doing. I want to tell what the UPA did. We had an 8.5% average GDP. We did waiver the loan of farmers, 70,000 crore. Your government, Mr. Jaitley, said in Parliament, we cannot do it. You said in 2022, they will be doubling of farmer income, and you will give
from 11th position to 11th
everybody,
position.
and you will have a 5 trillion economy. Okay, we brought in the Food Security Act. which you are using now to feed 80 crore people who got
Okay, can you answer my question on bonds, please? Yeah, please answer my question on bonds.
Okay,
Stagnant.
Let her
You
respond.
distributed cash.
Sir, Zafar Bhai,
Take
come
a
on.
cut of
No, please.
10%.
Let's have the same rules for everybody. Dr. Shama Mohammed, answer my question on
Yeah, the
bonds.
electoral
You
bonds
also
was-
benefited.
Let me talk about the electoral bonds. When the finance bill 2017 came, Mr. Modi is telling me, why did they make it anonymous and unlimited? Unlimited money coming from abroad and anonymous. They could have written in that bill that whoever is giving the money, their name should be there, and it should not be, they shouldn't be money coming from outside. All right, one. Number two, their own lawyer in court said the people of India have no right to know what political parties get. Number three, it is the Supreme Court which said it's unconstitutional and asked SBI to reveal who is getting, which party is getting money from where. If the way Mr. Modi is talking is that he has revealed it, no, they did not want to. They wanted to push it after the election. And number four, it was us who filed the PIL when this came in and said this electoral bonds is completely unconstitutional. It should not.
One second. The case was filed by ADR and by Mr. Prashant Bhushan. I don't think
Then we
either of
also
them are
filed the
members
PIL.
of
Now let me finish, let me finish.
of the Congress. No, but you're not answering my
Let me
question.
finish the
One
point.
second. No, Dr. Shama Mohammed, if you're making all of these points, then please answer what Nalin has said, that people of India don't seem to care. People of India are
No,
not
I
able
tell
to
you-
relate to electoral bonds equals corruption equals Modi. In their view, even now, Modi is above corruption. And he's leading a war against corruption. And if the corrupt happen to be in the opposition, then so be it.
But that's not what Mr. Srivastava said. And one other point, he said, Zafar says, during our time, cash was given. No. During our time, a company could give 7% of their 3 years average profit. And in their statement of the year, it has to be given. During their time, any small company which does not make profit also was giving electoral bonds. In our time, it was not there. You know that
were
very well.
accepting
No
cash.
cash was given. And this was the case during our
From
time.
where
So don't
Sahu
make
got
stories.
400,
Wait, let me
550
finish.
crore?
Okay.
Let me finish. And electoral
No,
bonds.
ask her about 550
Everybody
crore.
is talking about
Yeah,
Cash with
what about
Sahu.
Sahu? One second, Zafar
From
Bhai.
where
Wait,
they got
Zafar Bhai, 1
550
second,
crore?
Baba, 1 second. I'm doing the debate, not you. 1 second. Let her
Yeah,
respond.
everybody is talking about this. Everybody knows that there is a huge and it's not from us. It's the Supreme Court of India which said it is
अरे यार, एक बात तो बता दीजिए, साहू के पास 550 कहाँ से आया?
Supreme Court of India
550 करोड़,
say
उसका
the
तो
way
जवाब
money
दो।
was given before. The money was given before.
इधर उधर की बात मत
2014,
कीजिए,
political
550 करोड़ का
parties
जवाब
got it
दीजिए।
was unconstitutional. Supreme Court did not say that.
No,
because
one
money
second,
was
one
in
second,
India.
Why don't you pose
One
one
second.
question?
Let me
Why
pull
don't
out.
you pose one
Let me pull out from the both of them. No. 1 second. It's just going on the two meme between the both of you. Salem Dharanidharan, the DMK has also been a big beneficiary of electoral bonds. Santiago Martin, the lottery king, his number one contribution is to your party. So what are you crying hoarse about corruption?
So the first and foremost, DMK as a party has been against electoral bonds. Before the inception of electoral bonds, any party that receives more than 20,000 as donation would have to disclose. So who brought about a bill in which there is selective transparency? Only BJP will know who's donating to whom, and no other party will know, or not even the public will know how much is being donated. BJP brought about it. If BJP is against corruption, they could have banned corporate donations. Like
No,
in
but
Brazil,
Santiago Martin gave you 500 plus crores to the DMK.
See, DMK, right, even before SBI disclosed, right, DMK came forward and disclosed who all contributed to us. Point number one. Point number two, there is no quid pro quo. In case of BJP receiving electoral bonds, there's clear case of quid pro quo. The bridge in Bihar which collapsed. It was found that the company did not have proper eligibility criteria. There is evidence that they have donated to electoral bonds. Time and again, the CAG audit has said about one construction where the cost of the road has been inflated. Again, there is quid pro quo. Again, only after electoral bonds, corporate taxes were reduced from 35% to 22%. Taxes on fuel was increased. Again, there is quid pro quo. So I can state at least 100 examples of quid pro quo.
Okay.
Right? Immediately after
Nalin,
BJP received
the
quid pro quo.
opposition's
DMK?
contention is the biggest quid pro quo, as they see it, is this gentleman from Aurobindo Pharma who's an accused in the Delhi Liquorgate scam. 5 days after there are raids in his company, they contribute through electoral bonds to the BJP, and he decides to become an approver. They say this is ample evidence of quid pro quo. And yet you are saying this is not an issue for the people?
So Zaka, I think, look, all the information on this is in the public domain. I've been talking to a whole bunch of people, including a lot of people who will never vote, who will never vote for the BJP. I don't see this becoming an overriding election issue at the moment. And part of the reason I think is that as far as corruption is concerned, corruption has largely never been a major election issue in India, except for special cases where it becomes the overriding issue. 2014 was one such example. So in that sense, it is not becoming something which is defining this election, much as the opposition wants it to. This is. I'm not talking about the merits or demerits of the allegations. I'm simply talking about the political narrative as it's playing on right now, and I think that's exactly what the Prime Minister is kind of seizing on.
No, and that's precisely why, Sanjeev Srivastava, if you go back to 2013, 14, 12, 13, 14, when it was whole India against corruption and Anna Hazare at Ramlila Maidan, they made it into a public issue. The onus is on who to make it a public issue? Today, and I partly agree with what Nalin is saying, that the reason why the opposition has not been able to make this into a public issue is because even today, Mr. Modi's public perception in the eyes of the public is he is crystal clear. Maybe the people around him are not, but certainly he's on that pedestal, and by virtue of being on that pedestal, he can wage this war against corruption.
So Zaka, there are a couple of points I'd like to make here. One, Mr. Modi definitely occupies a pedestal in a large section of public psyche or mind, and he is the most popular or number one leader according to most estimates, and I also would concede that. But one point I like to make very clearly, if it was such a non-issue, the misuse of agencies and electoral bonds, it could never have been a part of such a scripted interview.
What do you mean? I mean, the question was asked, the answer was given, we are debating it.
And no follow-up and supplementary was asked. So, Mr. Prime Minister definitely wanted to give his side on electoral bonds and misuse of agencies, and he gave that 3 days before the first phase of elections.
My point, Sanjeev, is, Sanjeev, my point is, if this issue of disproportionately using the agencies is such a thing that bothers the average man on the street and an average woman on the street, then this is what the papers should be running, on front pages, TV channels should be debating ad nauseum, but that's not the case.
You really think so? You really think so? This is what newspapers will be running on their front page?
No, I'm saying it would be reflective of the mood on the street. It would be reflective of the mood on the street as it was in 2014 when corruption was an issue.
Such a delicious opening. Let me say, in the electoral bonds issue, two of the most talked about industrial houses in the country have not even given 1 rupee. Now, who will buy that argument?
No, if you have evidence, go ahead and file a PIL. Let the courts examine it.
I don't have any evidence, but I am not such an innocent babe in the woods also.
Okay. Now, I will conclude this by saying, and we've hit the 30 mark, so we have to wrap up this first debate, that look, yes, are there problems in Mr. Modi's government? I firmly do believe unemployment is an issue. I was on the ground in Tamil Nadu last week. People are talking about lack of jobs. Price rise is an issue. The issue of guarantees is also a big talking point on the campaign trail, no doubt about it. And in some states, it is either Modi's guarantee versus Siddaramaya's guarantee, or Modi's guarantee versus Stalin's guarantee. And this is a talking point. People are talking about it. But yes, to an extent, I do agree with Nalin that corruption has not been made into an electoral issue, and the onus for that is certainly on the opposition. Maybe electoral bonds is too complicated for the ordinary person to understand, or maybe the opposition has not done a good job in making that an issue. This is my concluding remarks. This is my time. Thank you very much to all the guests. Thank you for joining us. But like I said, 5 days before Tamil Nadu votes, the Prime Minister has given out his track record, his government's record, and why he believes his party is best placed to come back to power for a third term, and what his agenda is for the next 100 days, the next 5 years, and as he put it, for the next 25 years in Viksit Bharat, for the next 25 years to make India a developed country by 2047. The choice is up to the people of India. If the people of India feel that he is not resonant with the mood of the nation, then they're free to vote him out.